In 2019, when Smash Ultimate had only been out for 4 months, Tweak, one of the best Smash 4 players in the world, tweeted his thoughts on the new game. Despite Smash Ultimate being a massive success, this tweet was mostly an expression of disappointment. Fast forward 6 years later and Tweak is still a top 10 player, he found his footing in Ultimate's meta, but these observations feel more real than ever. Things are too unreactable/unpunishable. Everything's just too safe. I respect the way that they made this game. They sped it up, added a lot of universal things to make characters faster and more viable. He means things like giving this Dragon Turtle heavy as the same jump squad as Sheik, but we'll get to that later. But the results are the opposite of what you'd expect. This game is very campy/defensive, but I feel like it may not look like it at first glance. Don't get me wrong, I like Smash Ultimate, but a few changes here and there will make it so much better. And it's this wasted opportunity that makes the community so eager for the next game. And with rumors about Nintendo probably announcing Smash 6 in April of this year, I can't help but believe in players here. Everyone will be here again, they will nerf Steve, neutral will be respected, multi-hits are consistent, nothing is a coincidence, and God does exist. However, with this announcement being suspiciously close to April Fools and Nintendo having a history of engaging and trolling us, I'm not sure if believing in fairies is a good thing.
Fairy godparents!
Still, I made this list of the main changes that will make the next game better. Whether it's an entirely new game or Smash Ultimate Deluxe, I think that we can all benefit from them. These changes are focused on general mechanics and quality of life changes, but not on buffing and nerfing characters, but I think you will enjoy the list, so here it goes. Number 1. Rollback netcode and a proper ranking system. I know it kinda sounds crazy, but the current Switch actually runs rollback with other games, so it's safe to say that the Switch 2 will do it even better. I think that we can all agree that this is the most important quality of life change. In case that you don't know, rollback is the most efficient netcode for online play, and it has become a standard for modern fighting games like Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8. Combine that with a proper ranking system that matches players according to their level, and the new Smash game will be selling, even if it's just a port of the previous game. So now that I'm done being wishful and crazy, here are the more grounded changes for the game mechanics and overall movement. Number 2, refine lag in some moves. I'm with tweaking this one. I understand what they were going for. The meta of Smash 4 relied too much on shield grabbing, and reducing the landing lag in all moves was hype when we first heard of it, but by reducing commitment, the overall neutral game suffers a bit. Mashing preemptively is incentivized, and suddenly guessing becomes as important as reacting. I like that everyone received a tool for saved shield pressure, but the problem is not the unbalance. It's more that the risk-reward ratio is messed up and the competitive play loses sophistication. Speaking of which, number 3, action out of an initial dash. In previous games, we had to jump cancel in order to do certain actions, but Ultimate allows us to do anything out of a dash. The point seemed to be more freedom, but for some reason we can only cancel our run animation into a move, but not our initial dash. This is why sometimes projectiles hit you when you swear you press shield. Initial dash is a commitment in this game and you cannot shield out of it, only when you enter a run animation. Every Smash game lets us shield out of any part of our dash, just like any other fighting game. Shield is fundamental and it's supposed to be immediate. And I respect Nintendo nerfing shield after what happened in Smash 4, but shielding out of an initial dash is basic, it's fundamental, so bring it back. Number 4, eliminate 2-frame punish. This one might be a little controversial, but if you are this fat ass and you just got the timing right, your opponent dies. If you miss, then you don't risk anything and you may still ledge trap your opponent. 2-framing isn't about skill. Some characters have way stronger punishes than others, and some don't even have a reliable move in the first place. For example, in Smash 4, Fox could 2-frame your recovery with up tilt. This would kill confirm into upper or back air while risking nothing. Obviously this was stupid, so they removed his 2-frame, and he still has that crazy ledge trap game. To be clear, I'm okay with moves hitting under the ledge when someone is recovering or when they lose their invincibility. These are still part of the edge guard or ledge trap phases. My problem is the 2 frames of vulnerability that you get when you grab the edge. A simple fix would be to make those 2 frames count as grabbing the edge, making you invulnerable. Similarly to when characters recover from above the edge and they don't have those 2 frames of vulnerability. Number 5, remove the macro inputs. Ultimate added shortcut in order to make certain moves easier for beginners. The most notable one is short hop aerial. If you press jump and attack at the same time, your character defaults to a short hop aerial. This removes the possibility of doing rising aerials exactly as you want them and overall subtracts freedom of play and waste pressure. It feels like having training wheels and never being able to remove them. If Nintendo insists in having this macro, at least they should consider giving us the choice to turn it off whenever we want.
Sera la pointure 73 de ce bon Sora qui va complètement calmer la situation. Et voilà, et là j'entends Walid qui crie dans le public parce que c'est juste pas normal qu'un truc pareil arrive. Mais il faut t'arrêter, mec.
One of the reasons why perfect IDJ or instant double jump with Sora is so hard, it's because sometimes the game assumes that you just wanted to do this macro instead of jump plus attack separately. Number 6, improve the buffer system and the input lag. We are sort of used to it by now, but these two combined make for some sloppy gameplay. I understand that some of it is inevitable, but if Nintendo could tone it down a little for the next game in order to get more precise movement, it would be awesome. Number 7, refine micro movement. If you ever hear older members of the community complain about lack of movement in Smash Ultimate, this is what they mean. This change walks a similar path as the one about Initial Dash. To put it in super simplified terms, short distances are clunky, and usually we are forced to perform the more obvious choice of movement. Examples of this are the fact that we can perfect pivot in this game, or the fact that footstool is inconsistent with most characters, while in Smash 4 they were a staple of movement and punishment. Usually I propose a solution, but I'm not entirely sure of what the solution would be for this one, because I think that this clumsy movement is a consequence of whatever they did to the game to not let us pass through each other, which I love. It makes stage positioning more solid and valuable, but I just wish that they could refine it a little. Number 8, polish priority. This is a big one for me. I'm tired of forward smashing clanking with jabs, disjoint clanking with hands. I don't know if I'll be able to find footage of this specifically at the time I was writing this grid, but I'm pretty sure we've all seen it. A forward smash clanking with jab, or a sword clanking with Peach's hand. Priority in Smash doesn't make sense, and I am an advocate that it should be more consistent, like traditional fighting games. Just as an example, in traditional fighting games, there are light, medium, heavy, and special, and they all have a consistent hierarchy. Heavy will always beat medium, just like forward smash must always beat jab. Nothing much to add here, on to the next one. Number 9, remove spot dot canceling. Make it just like other games where you can't cancel your animation with any move, or tone it down a little so that there is less frame advantage, just like other games.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Number 10, bring back consistent edge canceling.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, and that's Wedge cancel, turn around, grab. West Boss is absolutely going off right now. Stop, West Boss, calm down. Oh,
Canceling landing lag with edge cancel would open new combo routes, and overall I think it will make the game more fun for everyone, including spectators. But if that's too much to ask, at least consider making it consistent with specials. This would improve the disadvantage of a lot of characters that desperately need it, like Mewtwo or Zelda, and might open new cool combo routes for some characters. Number 11, enhance perfect shield or parry. I've learned to love and respect parry more and more as the year goes by, but I still feel like some moves get too much of a free pass. Granted, if they do add more landing lag to moves or let us shield out of our initial dash like I mentioned before, that might solve the issue, but a different solution might be to increase the frames of advantage if the move that you parry is stronger. For example, currently you get 3 frames of advantage for all moves, and I think it would be fun to get more frame advantage if you parry a really strong move like a smash attack, for instance. Number 12, remove universal jump square.
So, Ultimate, wanting to make the game faster, decided to speed things up for everybody. Fox is back on top, getting his melee 3-framer back. That's pretty good. Did anyone else get a 3-frame jump squat? Oh.
I think this was a fun experiment, but Heavy's already got an increase of speed and less landing lag. There are better ways of making everyone viable without removing authenticity, for lacking of a better term, or making everyone more similar. I think that they can do something similar to what they did to air dodges, where they can come out in frames 2, frame 3, or 4, depending on the character. And if you think that this alone is enough to destroy your character, here is a list of the jump squats in Melee. Marth has a frame 4, Falco, Jigglypuff, and Peach have a frame 5 jump squat, and they're all top tiers. And in Smash 4, it's even more extreme. Again, I'm not saying destroy heavies, I'm just saying that there are better ways to make everyone more viable. Number 13, add 1 button for hazards on and off. This one is almost self-explanatory. It will make it easier for us to come up with a rule set that adds more stage variety for tournaments, and one can dream. Number 14, and finally, if it's not too much to ask, the next game would dominate with continuous development support of Nintendo.
Fairy gun, parents, fairy gun, parents, fairy gun!
If you enjoyed this take on future mechanics, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. It helps a ton. I will make content on the next game when it comes out. I'll make character guides and all the cool stuff. But you can test me. If you enjoy fighting games, consider watching this video, the one with Hungrybox in the thumbnail. Why fighting games make you show your true colors. I promise that it will be worth your time. And yeah, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.